Alright, this is Diesel We the People News. Let's go ahead and call this a news update. Alright, because I learned something on this video. So, subscribe to these people that they're bringing up. Both of them are extremely good from what I'm gathering on this video. Alright, I'm not an attorney, so anything I say or do, I'm not giving no legal advice. It'd be my opinion only. But the reason why I can't give legal advice is because I'm not an attorney. That's why. I never just look straight forward. I always look around me to be able to protect myself by any means necessary. Learn, and learn. And keep an open mind while you're learning. Okay? If you stay in that straight line, then you're going to be just one of the sheep dreaming of being outside the fence. Alrighty? Jeez, did I already say it? Just be on the safe side, y'all. This video is without prejudice and or without recourse, okay? I'm reserving all my rights. I'm not waiving any of it whatsoever. However, absolutely subscribe to both these people. And this is why.
Hello everyone and welcome back to CH and Ty Audits. In today's video we are reviewing an interaction brought to us from the channel Civic Duty out of Randolph County, Indiana that happened on June 29th, 2022. Civic Duty was going to Winchester City Hall to check some records. In order to get to the clerk to check the records, Civic Duty had to pass the city courtroom. That's where this interaction started. Let's get into the video.
Nope. Yeah, I'm here to check up on the records.
Okay, I'll guide you and come back to window 2.
Thank you. We have a wedding in progress now. I'll be respectful of the wedding. Judge.
Yes.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
How did you sit there in that meeting and let them pass an unconstitutional ordinance without saying anything?
Well, first of all, is that thing recording?
Yes.
All right, then come on into the courtroom. There's no recording in the hallways adjacent to the courtroom.
It's not live, so I'm not gonna step in your courtroom.
No, you can either be here, turn off the recorder, or you can record it.
We can come over here and look at the. Or actually, it's right here, right?
Yes.
I'm protected by C&D.
No, these are areas where I may approve an exception for that.
Where does it say you may?
A judge may authorize
Okay.
not the exempt after the proceedings may be concluded, or only for instructional purposes in educational institutions.
Well, those both are right there, and that's what I'm going for. So.
What institution are you representing?
Myself. I'm press, and the definition of press on Indiana law is that I generate ad revenue, which I do. So I am press.
What are your credentials?
The state of Indiana says that press right there, my civic duty right there, my YouTube channel generates revenue through ads, so therefore I'm press. That's the definition underneath the Indiana law, Indiana codes of what press is.
Do you happen to have a citation for that?
Offhand, no, I didn't bring it with me because I wasn't anticipating this. But I can tell you, if you looked it up, you could find the definition of press on right there. It's quite easy to find. I found it. I'm a nobody, so other than that, I just wanted to ask. I'm in the process of going down here to the clerk's office. Hi.
All right. Well, still, the order has been very clearly posted. You are allegedly in violation of that order. You're going to need to step inside. We're going to need to have a hearing on this.
This is a public access area.
The hallway next to the courtroom
Is public
access. You have the right to be here, but you don't have the right to record.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Is court in session at this moment?
Yes.
Is there actual cases being heard right now at this moment?
The court is in session. Those
Because the
numbers are
sign
posted.
says that there's a wedding in session, in progress,
Yes.
which is clearly on video here.
The wedding concluded. The sign just hasn't been taken down yet.
So would this be a retaliation for the question I asked you about the unconstitutional order being passed? The ordinance being passed?
Did you ask me about custom?
Yeah. How did you just sit there and allow an unconstitutional ordinance be passed without saying a word?
Typically, the judiciary branch is entitled to give the legislative branch more deference when they are passing a law, unless the issue of unconstitutionality is before that court in question. I was simply here watching to make sure
As
to
a
see where.
witness. But did you not swear an oath to the Constitution of the United States? Did you?
Yes.
I mean, can I ask why you're shaking too as well?
Sorry, potassium is low.
Okay. I mean, my wife, she has low iron, so I understand.
Exactly. Yep. It's been a long morning, almost to lunchtime. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what time is it actually right now? 11:28.
Yep.
Okay. But as far as I can see, there's no court in session, so.
No, but officer, please have this gentleman wait. We're going to conduct a contempt of court proceeding for violating the order against prohibiting.
Even though, as you can see right here,
Okay.
I'm not live, which clearly states underneath here. I'm doing this for news purposes, which is stated right here as well.
That's why we're going to have a hearing. You'll have a chance to explain yourself. Turn off the recording during the proceedings.
I will not. I'm going to continue to conduct my business here, which I was in the process of doing before I saw you. So, as far as I'm concerned, you don't make laws from the judicial branch. So,
No, but I regulate the business of this court, and recording in the areas adjacent to the courtroom
And
is disrupting
it says-
court business.
without approval for the Indiana.
Big soap is ruining your dating life.
Generic body wash isn't even real soap. Most generic body washes are actually
Without approval for the Indiana Supreme Court, which is a First Amendment right underneath the federal Constitution to record anywhere from public anything you can see, the officers use the plain view doctrine to use that, which I have the same right to use the plain view doctrine, and anything I can see from plain view in a public accessible area is completely legal, and nothing can trump that, not even a judge's signature. So,
Well, I will discuss this more thoroughly.
no thank you.
Yep. Officers, detain him in the courtroom, and we'll get started here momentarily.
This situation is similar to that which I experienced back in May, where the judge is obviously butthurt and wants to have total control regardless of the rights afforded to us by the Constitution. So he asks armed agents of the state to bring a man into the courtroom so he can formally order that the man be forced into a cage. This behavior is disgusting morally and is an example of a judge abusing a rule for purposes of his own rather than the purposes that the rule was written in the first place. Let's continue watching, and I will explain what I mean by that later on in the video.
I would suggest you.
I'm going to add to it. Once he entered that courtroom, then that judge actually has jurisdiction unless he challenged the jurisdiction on the matter. Okay? Now, the other part is, where is the due process? Even when he gets the guy in the courtroom, where is the due process? Where's the paperwork? Alright? So, just going to bring that out. Now, I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving legal advice. It's just a question, y'all. Okay? I'm giving my opinion. But it's still a question one and the same. Where is the due process? Oh, come on.
Guys, you're kind of a supervisor. I would suggest you guys get the sheriff for that. Jordan, if you really want to excuse yourself, I understand why you would from this situation. There's kind of a personal thing here, but if you want to sit back and advise these guys, I want to have no objection to it.
I'm here because I'm close.
But
Okay, now,
as you can see right here, the reproduction will not be exhibited until after the court proceeding, which I am not live. It's being recorded, and that refers to me uploading it. It cannot be uploaded before court is over and all objections are heard. There's actually no court proceedings going on right now. Court is over for the day. Just because it's not before noon doesn't mean it clearly states. So, as you guys can see, I'm following up with everything. I've actually talked to the FBI yesterday, or not yesterday, the day before the day we talked. The FBI is picking up the case. So I would really, really suggest we not dig the hole deeper. All I asked him was how do you sit there while they pass an unconstitutional ordinance? And then he tries to get me to come in the courtroom. See, now if I go in the courtroom, I'm in violation.
Well,
Out in a public, out in a public accessible area, I can't violate that. They can't. The Constitution trumps that. Completely trumps that.
Well, I understand that. At this point, the way I understand it from what I...
So at this point, and again, I'm not an attorney, I'm not giving legal advice, but he's actually correct. If he entered that courtroom, he would be, wink wink, in violation. So why would he insist of committing a crime by entering that door? Alright? Never refuse, but always tell him you're not assisting criminal activities.
Just heard is the judge would like for you to turn it off and go in and have a hearing right now on what's going on. But
I would disagree. There's been no arrest. Therefore, he can't force me to come into this courtroom to have a hearing for that. Just by him stating this judicial code it's not law. It's not law.
we understand it's
You
not,
guys are law
it's not-
enforcement.
It's not a Indiana code.
Yeah, it's not.
We
It's
understand
not.
that it's judicial code.
See, Indiana code, right here, would say Indiana code with these numbers on it. You know what they look like, 5, 14, 3, 3. That's an Indiana code.
Oh yeah. And you know, we work primarily with 35 and times
Yeah,
5.
criminal code and judicial code.
Yeah.
But
A city judge can't trump the Constitution. He can't. Nobody can. Not even the Congress.
Right.
Not even the Congress.
Right.
Let
Understand that.
alone this guy. He
Right.
can't do it. So, if I was you, I would call Daly and get clarification on that, because I can clearly prove there is no court in session. There's a wedding that's up there. So therefore, court is out of session. Therefore, this is all null and void and irrelevant. And that's what it is. So I would really suggest nobody risk their badge. And by me explaining this already, your qualified immunity is at risk here. Therefore, I can put a suit on bonds here. If that's ignored, I've explained it, I've expressed it, I've proven, as you guys can look in here, there is no court in session. He can have court up to noon, but court in session means cases being heard, not just because this is a courtroom. Yeah. So there's no court being in session, so therefore I can't violate. This is set forth to protect the people that are coming to court.
Right.
And if there's nobody here, there's no complainant, the judge can't be the complainant in this matter. Just like disorderly conduct, you can't be a complainant in disorderly conduct. You need somebody else as a victim. The judge cannot be his own victim in this case. That is somebody coming in, having the court heard or whatnot, and doesn't wish for that to be exposed or recorded.
what's your business today?
I'm going back here
What do you
to
want?
check up on a public records request.
Okay.
I just crossed paths with him and asked him.
I would say just go ahead and take care of that real quick when you talk to him.
Gotcha.
Just don't leave until we speak with you, and we'll make sure.
Completely understand.
Thank you.
Hi, Cor. So,
There's that, and there's that.
okay. Any charge?
Getting you called.
Any charge? Well, I figured I had to go up to the courthouse up there anyways, because I kind of had a dispute with them.
Okay, there's supposed to be 10 cents a page, I was told, and I didn't know that, so I've not been charged.
No, that's fine. I got, you guys take card or no?
No, we don't.
Oh,
No, we
crap.
don't.
So I have to go to the ATM.
It's supposed to be 10 cents per page. We do not have any change on site.
All right.
I've not been charging up to this point, so let's do it from this point forward after today, because I did not know.
Okay, if they don't take cards but they take cash, why do they not have change, y'all? I don't know.
That.
See, and you guys are only doing 10 cents per page? Like
Yeah,
down there
on black
at
and white.
down there at
On
the
black
county.
and white copies, it's 10 cents per
Down there at the
page.
county is supposed to be $1 per page. But my question with them was, she said that we couldn't come in, for example, like say I wanted to examine something here but didn't want a physical copy. So it states here that I'm allowed to record it with my own equipment. And she's trying to claim that nobody's allowed to record anything or any of that stuff with their equipment. And I was like, well, the law, she goes, well, mine supersedes yours. I said, well, what's yours? She said 514-3-3. I'm like, it's the same exact code. She's like, well, I can charge you $1. I said, well, that's not what's in dispute here. The dispute is public agent may not deny or interfere with the exercise. I have a right to make copies myself with my own equipment. And she was like, no, you don't. It says right here. But I don't know if you wanted that, but that's basically for that. So
Keep it.
now I gotta go deal with these guys. So
Okay, but there are those.
all right, I appreciate you.
But now,
Yep, and I don't have any, well, not yet. I don't have any
Okay.
at the moment, but we'll see if we do.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Give great applause on the clerk. And so far, give good applause on the officers.
All right, so we got the public records. So am I detained still at the moment, or?
Well, I just want to make sure we get everything cleared up.
Yeah, that's why I prefer it all done the proper way and everything.
Yeah.
But
If we get it cleared up, then that answers questions in the future if it were to happen again. So.
yeah. And that was my understanding from what I looked up in the definitions of it. It does say he may authorize, but even then, this don't supersede state law. It don't
Yeah.
supersede
And
Constitution.
a lot of this stuff that is not explicitly put into words in the law is usually determined by Supreme Court if that case
Yeah.
would come.
Well, Glick versus Cuniff gives me the right to record any public officials in the course of their duty in public property unrestricted. That's a
And-
Supreme Court ruling.
But then you'll have rulings, but then they can have rulings
Yeah,
that modify.
and,
And
you know,
that's
I
why
just
there
got
may be
done
some-
arguing with somebody about that myself too, because they were talking about Roe v. Wade and, well, what happened, law says this, law says that, and I was like, well, that's one thing you understand. That stuff changes over the years.
Yeah.
That was put in place in the 70s, we took it down, like, it happens all the time.
And all that
Nothing's in
stuff
stone.
can Be modified.
Yeah. But that was my thing. It was, everything was fine until I asked the question, and the second I asked the question, it was an issue. Like, that's what got me. Now, if it was an issue, the first thing he would have said is, hey, this right here, stop. Instead of, hey, how's it going? How's it going? Then it was, I asked the question, he said, wait, are you recording? I said yes, and he was like, I need you to step in this courtroom now. No. The second I step in that courtroom, I know I break the law. And he can't force me into this courtroom without, I mean, I know you guys know what you're doing, so.
Shortly after this, the GoPro Civic Duty was recording on dies. It is easy to hear earlier in the video that the cops wouldn't detain Civic Duty absent a warrant. The judge told Civic Duty that a hearing would be held on the issue whether he was present or not, so Civic Duty left without being harmed. It is obvious that the hearing will result in a guilty verdict, seeing as the judge was the accuser, prosecutor, and judge in the same matter. Civic Duty needs your support, as this could easily result in him serving time in jail for standing up for our rights. Go subscribe to him and consider donating to him to help him in the event that he needs legal counsel. Links will be in the description below. Earlier in the video, I said that this was an example of the judge abusing a rule for purposes other than the rule was created for. When we look at the history of the prohibition, as advised by the Commission of Judicial Conduct in Indiana, they state, historically, the prohibition on the broadcasting of courtroom proceedings began at a national level in 1937, when the American Bar Association, or ABA, responded to the massive media coverage and circus atmosphere by adopting Canon 35, which prohibited broadcasting and photographic coverage of courtroom proceedings. They say that over time, the ABA has had a more relaxed view on the issue since, but in many states, the rules are still in place. Knowing the reason this rule was initially put in place really shows that this rule has now become a tool for judges to abuse anybody exercising their rights just for the sake of abusing them. As it was obvious, the judge is not trying to protect any proceedings by issuing a warrant. It is simply a flex of their tyranny muscles. Don't forget to head over to Civic Duty's channel and tell him CH and Ty sent you. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe for more content like this. The new Hide Behind the Badge shirt is available now on Spring.
Alrighty. And I'm going to go a step further. Remember in my other videos when I talked about the brand new attorney up on the building, and the big old school attorney looked out over the town and said they control everything? There you go, y'all. And let's not forget one important thing. Rules are not law. Rules are not law. And they still want to put people in torture chambers for a rule when there has not been a law broken. Sit and think about that, y'all. A rule, policy, all these things that they actually have zero jurisdiction over you, unless you believe they do. That is what they call tacit agreement, consent from the governed. So we need to stay as a governed and quit giving up our governed to them. Alright, this is Diesel We the People News. Subscribe to these people, y'all. I learned something. I do a few of these videos, and I've been watching more videos lately just to get away from the studying and all that kind of stuff. Here lately, you know, when you study for so long and all that, it's just kind of good to get a break, kind of like a vacation, right? So this is Diesel We the People News. I'm not an attorney, so everything I said or did on this is just my opinion. But never, never, never just look straight forward. Always look around you to be able to protect yourself by any means necessary. Who says you can't challenge a man and woman behind the black dress? When did they become kings? Till next time, bye.